What up, good people, and you bad people too? This is me, the MATTWOODS, and today I am in the backyard of Adam Lee's of Spicy Adams. What's up, Adam?
Hey, how's it going, Matt?
Everything is good, man, and what you cooking here looks good. What's going on?
Well, currently I'm prepping the ramps, which is one of my favorite forage vegetables. Only in season for a few weeks in hardwood forests, and they are a wild leek. Very tender, yummy, tastes like a mixture between garlic and onion. You can do a lot. You can pickle them, you can eat them raw, put them in salads, make pesto, all kind of good stuff.
Now, where do you find those ramps at?
Well, you kind of need to know what they look like and know your trees, know your forests, and know when they're coming. So, got these last weekend, and they'll be in season for another week or so. And you kind of just need to find them in a more mature hardwood forest.
Foraging, is that something you've been doing for a while?
Yeah, I'd say about 10 years at least. And, you know, foraging is definitely a passion. And, you know, as far as that's concerned, ramps are something that is a gourmet edible, and they're pretty popular, but they need to be sustainably foraged. So you really should only take 5 to 10% of what's there in order for them to keep perpetuating and being there for future generations.
Any nutritional values with those that you know about?
Well, I mean, you think about how good garlic is for you, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's a wild version of a garlic.
Oh.
And so, especially eaten raw, I'm sure, I don't know the specifics, but I know it's probably got to be good for me.
Okay. So now how is that going to be incorporated into the meal?
So we are going to mix that into the polenta I made up here. So I got my spurtle out for stirring this guy up. It's got a little stiff on me, but we'll just mix that in there.
Okay.
And we'll stir it in, and then we'll have get that a nice oniony component for the polenta. And then we'll mix the mushrooms in there. That's cooked.
And what kind of mushrooms are those?
These are actually cremini, but I hope to be using some black trumpet mushrooms in the main recipe.
Okay.
And because the black trumpet mushrooms are a wild mushroom that you can buy dried online, but they have a really cheesy-like texture, so it's a great vegan add-in to something like this, because it's going to add that nice flavor profile that you're looking for with polenta that a lot of times have cheese in it.
Okay. And what exactly is polenta?
Well, polenta is cornmeal, and typically it gets boiled with a bit of water, so this ratio is 3 to 4 cups to 1 cup of polenta, a little bit of salt, and then finish with some olive oil while it's cooling off. And then you can mix in whatever else you want to mix in.
All right, so what's next?
Well, I just finished up my spice rub for the chicken we're going to put on there. My big mortar and pestle, we got some Aleppo pepper, cumin, coriander, a little bit of black pepper, and chipotle morita, and then just crush it all down. It gets nice and fresh that way as far as the flavors. And we're just gonna. Now this has already been pre-salted to get it nice, get it soaked in, and ideally bring it up to room temperature as well before popping it on the grill.
And what's this recipe called again?
Well, this is just my spiced chicken thighs, and I typically have a go-to spice rub that I like to use for my chicken thighs, and so we're just gonna make sure it's nice even coating on there, and then we're gonna pop it on the grill for a bit. Just finished plating this ramp and mushroom polenta with some fermented asparagus, my spiced chicken thighs, and a little olive oil to finish, and some wild ramps on the side in case you need a little more garlic onion in your life.
Now, this looks really, really good. When was the first time you made this dish before, and what kind of reviews have you gotten from it?
Tonight is the first time I made this dish. Is that okay?
No, that's perfect. That's perfect.
I'm just kidding. I don't actually cook a lot of the same stuff very often at all.
Well, everything that I've had from you has been delicious. That first barbecue over here, and I had to put the footage up. What was it? It was like ribs and oysters and just all kind of great stuff.
Yep.
And like, when did you learn how to cook? Like, when did you start cooking?
Well, I started cooking when I was, let's see, 17, in an
Uh-huh.
Italian restaurant. And then I was waiting tables at different places and on occasion did pop-up dinners, but I just like to cook for myself and friends and different parties as well.
And I understand now you're looking at teaching other people how to cook these amazing meals.
Yeah, I'd love to do some workshops in the future, interactive, do a dinner, that kind of thing, and figure out other opportunities to. I'm sorry,
It's all good. You're a busy man.
So there's a few different things. One, it's about how do you use simple ingredients, ideally seasonal. How do you use the whole different cuts from the animals, and how do you make vegetables taste delicious? Like this polenta dish can stand on its own, especially if you added some beans or something to that. So like I really try to have a veg base, protein added, so that it is accessible to everybody.
Okay. And now, when it comes to like cooking classes, like what would that look like if somebody wants to say, hey, I want to learn how to make this meal? Or, could they say, hey, I want to know how to make this genre of food? How does that look? What would you say to your customers?
Well, I mean, I think there's a lot of folks that are interested. We all got to eat, right? And I think whoever is curious about how to better learn how to eat more seasonally, not be afraid of different spices. I think that's something that really helps to elevate cuisine, how to treat vegetables and make them really yummy. One of my big secrets is this big mortar and pestle here. I buy whole spices. I make my own spice rubs and try not to make anything too crazy hot, just very flavorful, and how to execute that can make a big difference.
And you bring up a good point, because a lot of people might not even know how to shop for different things. I imagine you have that pretty much down pat.
Yeah, I mean, we can get a lot of stuff here, honestly, especially in the height of the summer season. But there's a lot available locally, and we're lucky for that. But I think it's hard to get people into the mindset of eating strawberries just in May and June. But it's something I try to do.
Mm-hmm. Gotcha. And they taste better during those months.
Absolutely, and then you appreciate it more for sure.
Absolutely.
But something like this, chicken thighs are one of my go-tos, and it's hard to mess them up. They take on a lot of flavor. You can beat them up on the grill or the oven, and they'll just get better usually. So and then we made this fermented asparagus. It was so simple. It was a nice preservation. That's something I'm really passionate about as well. How do we preserve the harvest and also enhance it? So this is lacto fermented asparagus, and that's good for the gut. It tastes funky and delicious, and you can add all kind of ways to. It's similar to making sauerkraut, but you can do that with any vegetable.
Okay. And speaking of fermented stuff, do you know how to make wine?
I don't actually, but I'm about to have a glass after this.
We got to get some of your buddies over here who know how to make wine. I was at one of your parties, and the lady brought over some dandelion wine. Does that sound familiar? Do you know who that was?
I remember it being here. I don't remember who brought it though, but I, have the theme, the farm to table theme, and people typically have some homemade creations. I try to encourage that as far as a potluck is concerned, especially. Not just limited to food. If you're making beverages, people like to share that kind of thing.
Okay. And where did you get your passion from to entertain for people and host and all that good stuff?
I think all the time spent in fine dining and just being around folks, and how much I also think that one of the best things to do is sit around a table and talk, and food provides that avenue to be able to collaborate and break down walls and meet new people.
Okay. Now, is there any famous people that you cook for or that you dine with? Any notable mentions that you want to speak on?
Not really. There's not anybody I could point to as far as that's concerned.
Okay.
Just some good chef friends that maybe not be well known, but it's fun to collaborate and cook for other people who are appreciative.
Absolutely, absolutely. Now, where can people find you at?
Well, I have my personal Facebook page that is just Adam Lee. You can check that out when we're posting stuff there. But my TikTok is called Spicy Adam, and we're working on getting that sorted out and promote these things through there.
All right, well, sounds good, and it's looking good, and I think I want to dig into this, man.
Hell yeah.
All right, peace. What up, you good people? And you bad people, too. It is Adam, MATTWOODS, and I must say, I forget what this is called, but it is so freaking good. This is like delicious. I haven't tasted the asparagus yet, and I haven't tasted the chicken yet, but this right here, phenomenal. Phenomenal.